I disappoint myself an absurdly large amount of the time. This is round 3 of the Gambito Open in San Diego, their weekly tournament. I'm on my path to 2200. It's getting further away every day, and on my path to play in all 50 states. That's getting closer. California is my 10th state, and I enter round 3 with a win against 2200 and a complete loss against a 2360. And now I'm playing against a young Asian girl, Renee Chen. She seems nice. She seems nice. We didn't talk that much. But yeah, this game was pretty tragic, as we'll see. So she plays e4, and I play c6, the Caro Kann. And the time control for this tournament is game in 45, delay 5. So kind of on the shorter side. And at the end of this video, I'm going to pull up the game review. But for most of this recap, this is going to be a just human analysis until the very end. So she plays the advanced variation of the Caro Kann. I play c5, contesting the center immediately, and she plays. There's a few main ways to play against this setup as white. One way is that I actually saw at a month ago is she actually takes pawn on c4. I play e6, trapping my own bishop, but supporting king-sided development quickly. She plays a3, and I've had in the past people play b4, and then they go like knight f3, and then they go bishop b2. Like, this is totally normal. But she doesn't go b4. She goes queen g4, attacking my pawn. And I keep forgetting. Like, I keep forgetting. There are some times when queen g4 happens when the best move is to go g6. Sometimes the best move is to go g6. A lot of times the best move is to go knight e7 and give up both of these pawns. And it is it's dynamically balanced. For example, knight f3. Knight f3 happens. Yeah, it should be white to move. Why can't I move? Oh, it's black to move. I go knight c6, attacking the pawn. If you go knight f3, this is just winning for white, or for black, I think, right? Because queen h4, knight f5. And I'm going to take on f2. So yeah, it's very difficult for white already if they take both these pawns. So I'm pretty sure knight e7 is the right move here. I just couldn't quite remember what the move order is. In my game against Donovan in Myerstown, Pennsylvania, eventually he played b4 at some moment, kicking my bishop back. But he didn't do that. But she didn't do that here. She played bishop d3. And the best move, believe me or not, is a castle straight into it. The queen's on g4. The bishop's on h7. The bishop's pointing toward h6. Like, this variation has a really good... I actually don't know this for sure. I've never played it. But I'm very confident this variation has a killer record against class players. Like, because he's like uber aggressive, so of course it's gonna score well. Like it's just really crazy. And a lot of times the best way to play is to play f5 here, shutting down the center if they don't take en passant. If you don't take en passant, you go here. Well, now I could probably there's probably a couple things I could do. I could probably go here, and let's say you castle, go f4, and wherever you go with your queen, let's say, I don't know, let's say you go queen back here. I'm going to go here, and I'm going to corral the pawn. Maybe go queen c7 to try to win this e5 pawn. If you go rook here, for example, queen here, and yeah, it doesn't look like you'll be able to keep this pawn. Even though I might lose this pawn, but it's probably worth it. Okay. Actually, I don't think I would lose the f4 pawn because of tactics of like knight takes and then knight takes f3. Anyways, so most people after f5 they take on f6, and I take back with the rook. In my game against Donovan, I believe he castled first, and then no, he didn't castle first. He actually went like queen h5 or something like that, getting out of the discovered attack. But instead, she just went bishop g5 immediately. And I was like, I've seen some variations where like bishop g5 happens and then e5, e4 happens and it's a draw. And I legitimately think this is one of those variations where after bishop g5, the best move for black is to play e5, probably. And after the queen moves somewhere, the best move is to go e4, giving up the rook for the two bishops. She actually does something very interesting that I haven't seen. So we both spent a long time. Like by this point, we probably both have half of our time gone or something like that because I was calculating for a while. Like, I need to make sure I can play e5 and e4 and I'm not dead lost. If I don't play e4, well, h7 is hanging because of the bishop, so I block the bishop. And, well, she takes my rook and then goes knight g5, which is super interesting, actually. Because it's not super, because I thought she might take the pawn. And I was like, okay, do I take the knight or do I take the bishop? Like, this was a huge decision I had to calculate. I had to calculate which way do I take. If I take the bishop, knight g5 or knight e5 can come. But then eventually I calculated that I have queen e8, setting up a discovered check. I can take on c2 later. And I defend against queen f7. And I think I'm totally fine here. For example, if she castles here, maybe I will go bishop f5, maybe. And if rook here, I'll probably finish development with knight here. And yeah, this should be good. This should be okay for me. I don't have to go queen e8. I could also go queen f8. And I was calculating takes, knight takes here, back and takes, and knight here, and e5, or sorry, d4, and here. And I was like, do I want to push this pawn? I probably would have finished development because now I have rook c8. Then I go here, for example, and this is probably good for me, even though I have two pieces. But I don't have the rook and a pawn, so it should be it's equal material technically, but it's looking good for me. So I thought she might go for this, but instead she found a creative solution, which was actually go knight d5, saying, "Hey, I'm attacking h7. What the heck are you going to do?" My first reaction was like, "Okay, I'm gonna go bishop f5. I'm gonna try to keep pieces on the board." But I was like, "Okay, well now she's gonna sacrifice on e4. Like for example, takes." And I was like, is this good for me? In hindsight, she might not do this, actually. It doesn't look as good as what happened in the game. I guess if you like takes. Ah, yes, this is what I was thinking about. But I guess I could just take here. And go here. And then after she castles, I probably just centralize my queen. After trades, I guess she is up 1 point of material. So that does look a little bit uncomfortable. And it's probably going to be really hard for me to win this game if I can at all. So maybe it's good that I didn't do this. I don't have to trade queens here, but what else am I supposed to do? Could go check. Can't go b4. Oh, he can go b4 because the queen's defending. Yeah, that's uncomfortable. So I'm not sure. I decided that was not, after a long think, I decided that I wasn't going to do that. I decided I'm going to go pawn takes, and after queen takes, king h8. And I was thinking here that, like, I'm really not sure if there's a way for me to avoid a draw. If she just goes queen f6, I go here, queen g5. If I go here, then there's going to be check here. And what am I going to do? Bring my king to the center? And, like, she has two passed pawns? Like, that looks very suspicious. So I wasn't really sure what I was going to do. But in this case, after king h8, she took on e4. Well, most likely what I was going to do is just go king g8, king h8, and accept the draw. Because, you know, I'm playing black. She plays super aggressively. She sacrificed a piece. You know, like, I'm going to just, you know, accept the draw here. But Well, I guess I sacrificed the rook first, I guess, technically. But she decides to take on e4 and taking advantage of this pin. My bishop is undefended, so if I take back, she's going to play queen takes c5. And now I was thinking about what I'm going to do now. You know, I don't have any checks against her. If I just develop my pieces, she's going to castle, and her king is so safe. It's equal material, but so one king is way more safer than the other. And I was like, so I decided to go play bishop takes f2. So she sacrifices her bishop, I sacrifice my bishop, and now her king is never going to find a truly safe home. If she ever goes king g1, I'm going to go like queen b6 check, or in the future queen d4 check. And so her king is not going to find any safety, or it's going to be difficult for her king to find safety. I take on d4, and she decides to go check on e5 and take on e4. And at this point, we're both getting pretty low on the clock here. I might have 9 minutes and she has 8 or something like that, or well, she actually has more time than me a little bit. Like she might have 12 minutes or something like that. But we're both getting pretty low on the clock already. I go knight c6, just trying to finish development here. I was considering, what was I considering here? I was considering going here, and after takes, do some sort of check here. Actually, for a long time, I was calculating queen d2 check, which just loses a queen. And I was like, that was dumb. Why was I calculating all that time? But I was thinking about going here, and then if like here, maybe I can go do something else. If he goes back here, that doesn't look very good. And like, you know, maybe I can even just like sacrifice my rook in the corner. But I'm like, is this even winning? I'm not so sure. And check here. Like probably taking this pawn is not good. But I'm just not sure what else I'm supposed to do. Like I could also go check, not check. This is not a check. If I could go here, then here. And then if I go here to avoid queen c3, pinning the queen to the king, then I can maybe go, I don't even know what she would do. Well, it's hard to find a move for her. Let's say like h4, for example, which doesn't seem like a good move. Knight c6. So yeah, maybe this is good for me. I mean, because if like c3, c3 is a natural move to prevent the checks here. Oh, but now you open up checks here though. And this is not good. No. This can't be good. No, this can't be good. I refuse. Well, here, whoopsies. I can't sacrifice. Oh, this is tough. This is tough. I don't know. There's probably a way to win. I just don't know it off the top of my head. Well, actually, no. I take that back. I don't think this is winning. That's why I didn't go for it. But I did consider it. I just thought it was too crazy to do. And I was running low on time. And I really didn't want to screw this up too much. So I just played knight c6 first. And then she gave me a few checks. And now I played knight d5. Pinning myself. Putting my knight in the pin. But the idea is I'm going to go bishop e6 and queen f6 or queen b6 and get my rook in, and I'm going to counterattack. By this point, we both stopped notating. I have 3 minutes. She has 5 minutes. Time scramble time. And so, and I actually don't finish notating the game. I'm going to show you guys the very end. I'm going to let you guys know roughly what happened, but this got crazy super fast, and the crowd, you know, started building because we were one of the last games there finishing. Well, last one games, you know, playing. So she plays rook d1. I play I play queen b6 first, and then bishop e6, allowing her to sacrifice her rook for the 2 pieces. But now I go rook f8 check, and now, you know, her king is wide naked. So she goes up, I go check. If she goes up, then I have this move, winning the queen on the spot. So she has to go back with her king, but now I go queen g1 check, so I can bring my other rook in. And now, you know, it looks like, okay, she got her king to good square, but now I'm going to go queen d1 or queen e1 check. And the pressure is on. Like, I have a minute. She has 3. And eventually I get down to 1 second. And then she has like 3 seconds. Like, that's how crazy the time scheme was. Like, at this point, I probably already have 1 second, and we're just throwing the kitchen sink. We're both going fast, and I'm like shaking. You know, there's a 5 second delay, but that's barely anything, man. Like, I'm so bad. Anyways, knight d2, and now I felt like at this point I felt like I screwed up. I was like, oh no, like her. I could take, but this is way too much to calculate. I'm like this looks bad, but maybe this is okay. Looking at it now, it looks like it's probably okay because there's no more checks. I did not know that at the time. So I went check here. She blocked. I went here, covering the g5 square from a check. Avoiding a trade of queens because I think her king's weaker. But now she goes rook d8 check. I take, she takes. I go king f7, trying to avoid any checks at all. If I go king g7, well, now there's this check, and this is probably winning. I actually did not realize that, but I didn't have time to calculate. And so I go king f7. She goes g3, I think, because at this point I'm no longer notating. I go check. She goes here. I go here. She goes here. But now she self-pinned herself now. Now I go b5, and I'm just going to be going up a piece here. She goes rook f1. I trade rooks. I move my king. She goes queen f4, and I take and take here. And now I have a position where I'm down 2 pawns, but I'm up a bishop. So this is completely winning here, and we play on for a few more moves. So ignore the specific moves here. I think I got them all wrong, but she pushed her queenside majority. I got my king in, and eventually something like this happened, and where I'm forced to give up my bishop, but it's more than enough time because I end up promoting, and at this point I take. And I sacrifice my queen. And she stops my pawn, and it's a draw. After this move, I think I give a check first, and then something like this happens, and then like I just thought to myself, okay, this position is definitely winning. It's definitely winning. But I have 1 second, I'm just going to give up my queen and promote my other pawn, and then it's going to be simpler to calculate. I mean, not that it's hard to calculate, but I was just like, I'm just going to do that and then promote my pawn, and that's fine. Like, this is totally good. But I blundered it into a draw. And, yeah, the game ends like this. And everyone was watching. Like everyone was watching. I remember when that happens, I was like, "Oh my god!" Like the hands up in the air, like my hair were in my face with my hands like that. And I was like, I shook her hand, of course, and then I walked to the corner and just like I can't believe I just did that. That was so dumb. That was so dumb. There was no reason. Like there's nothing. Like I'm so jittery. At least I didn't flag. Like I said, I had 1 second. Like probably 10 moves before I took her knight and went up a piece, I was down. I had 1 second. And, it doesn't feel that bad because, like, she had a forced perpetual, but she didn't take it. But I should have won. Yeah, I'm just bad. So I enter round 4 of the tournament. So this is a 4-round tournament. I enter round 4 with 1.5 out of 3. Yeah, I'm just going to end it there. I'll see you guys in the next one.